Welcome. In front of me I have the VIVO V60 Lite, and today I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device, its specifications, and just give you my general thoughts and opinions about the device. Okay, so let's just get straight into this. There we go. So here we have our Type-C, Type-A charging cable, an energy sticker with 61 hours of battery life, almost 62 apparently, and just a case. Don't care about that. And then the device itself. Get back here, there we go. Okay, so let's boot it up. I have to say, in terms of the design, it looks pretty nice. Okay, so in a second we'll see the display, and that is a 6.77-inch display with a resolution of 1080 by 2392 pixels. So it is basically a 1080p display. There we go. In terms of the screen-to-body ratio, it's supposedly 88.7% based on gsmarena.com, which is where I'm getting all the information from. And we have 388 pixels per inch. Now the display is an AMOLED display with 1 billion colors, 120 Hz refresh rate, and HDR10+ certification. So we're pretty good in terms of the display right here. I'll just quickly go to the setup, and oh god, I never would want to be considered from UK. So I'm just gonna quickly jump through this. Come on, skip. Okay. Now here we can see our home screen with pretty minimal bloat by the looks of it. We have easy share for basically moving over the data, iManager, which I presume is just a way for you to clear data, or like, you know, cache and stuff like that. Themes and vivo.com. Yeah, so there's almost no bloatware on here, surprisingly. So that's actually pretty decent. And now this is running Android, obviously, and let's see which version of it. So about phone, Android 15, you can see right here. And it does have its own kind of skin over it, as you can clearly see. This isn't like stock Android or something that would be akin to a Pixel look. So it does have its own look to it. With its own features as well, as you can clearly see. Now anyway, let's just move over to the cameras. So here we have a dual camera setup, as you can see. Cool, let's agree. And we have, in terms of cameras, main sensor being 50 megapixel 1.8 aperture wide sensor, which is the one that is open right now. And just to kind of capture a shot right here of the mess. Yep, cool. Okay, I agree. There we go. So here is the photo from this. Now I can already see it is using some upscaling by the looks of it, as there is some wonkiness, I think. So yeah. Now the 50 megapixel main sensor will allow you to capture videos at only 1080p at 30 frames. So that's not the best kind of result right here. Now another camera right here is going to be the 8 megapixel 2.2 aperture ultra wide. This one. And obviously that's going to be even worse than the main one. And then as a selfie, we have a whopping 32 megapixel 2.5 aperture wide sensor that also does the measly 1080p 30 frames. So there is no like 60 anywhere, unfortunately. So camera here are just a little bit subpar, I would say. Now, if we take a look at the build quality, we have glass back, plastic frame all around here. Obviously glass front, no surprise here. And under display fingerprint sensor, there is none on the power button, which I do personally prefer to have it under display. We also have the volume rockers and the power button on the right side. At the top, we just have some microphone and some other grills for whatever that is. I don't think those are speakers. Then on the left side, absolutely nothing. At the bottom, we have our SIM tray. And this looks like it's just a SIM tray, but I am going to pop it out just to make double sure. And it is. So it supports dual SIM in here, but no expandable storage, unfortunately. And then at the bottom also we have our microphone, our charging port, and the speaker grill. So that's the build. Now inside of that we have a 6,500 milliampere battery, sheesh, with 90 watts of charging speed. Holy crap, this phone is putting Samsung absolutely to shame. The device is also running on an Dimensity 7360 turbo processor, comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM at the lowest end, with 256 gigs of storage. But with just a higher end model, you can get 12 gigs, also 256 storage, or half a terabyte with 12 gigs of RAM. All options coming with UFS 3.1 storage type. So not the fastest one, but it's for the capabilities of this device, it's okay. The only kind of downside here is that there is no expandable storage, unfortunately. That would have been nice to see. Other than that, the price for this entire phone is what I would consider a little bit on the higher end. Personally, it has its perks, like the massive, and I do mean massive, battery in here. I also didn't mention, with the 90 watts, you can get this device to 100% charge in just 52 minutes. So we can get this pretty quickly, top. But for the roughly 390 euros asking price, it's a little bit on a higher end of the price for a device that necessarily seemingly has like big battery and fast charging as its selling feature. And just to kind of compare this to something that I always pick, though here it might be a little bit less of a good comparison, as it's using the newer processor, which I haven't actually checked out. So let's see, Dimensity 7360. Let me just quickly type that. I want to see. It's nearly identical. Okay, sharing the same CPU, GPU, whatever. So trying to find. Okay, yeah, okay, they do look pretty similar. Okay, so I was checking how good the processor in here is. Now, the reason this matters is because at the asking price of about 390 euros, if this processor is faster, obviously this would be a good thing. But turns out that this is barely any better than the Dimensity 7300. So in this case, this phone actually could fairly compete against the reigning king that has been reigning for already a couple years, which is the Nothing Phone or CMF Phone 2 Pro. Or even you can go with the lower one and you're going to pay even less money, the CMF Phone 1. Now the CMF 2 Pro comes with a 7300 Pro processor. This is the 7360 Turbo, which for all you care, absolutely means nothing. They're so close that these differences are not going to be something that you're going to notice. Now, the reason I'm comparing it to the CMF phone is because the price difference, now that is something significantly different. So the device comes with at a price of roughly $250. That will also include the tax, FYI. So for like $150 less or maybe even more than that. You have smaller battery. I'm gonna start with the negative. Much smaller battery at 5,000 instead of the 6.5 that this device does. That can be also charged at a third of the speed at 33 watts instead of the 90. But where it picks up is it also has a great display with better display pull rate. So this screen, when you're scrolling up and down, is much more responsive. It has a peak brightness of 3000 nits, which this one doesn't even have a rating. And on top of that, it has dual 50 megapixel cameras, 24mm and 50mm wide and telephoto, along with 8 megapixel ultra wide, which allows you to record videos up to 4K at 30 frames and 1080p 60 with slow motion of 120. So in terms of cameras, it's not even like, there is no contest here. If you want good cameras at low price, then go with the CMF phone. If you want a beast that will last you for probably like 2, maybe even longer than 2 days, then the Vivo seems like a good choice with stupidly fast charging. But all in all, at the inflated price that they are asking at about 390 euros, it is a steep price to ask for a device that basically, in terms of performance, is roughly performing as well as a device that is $150 cheaper than what we have right here, with the sacrifice of just the battery, as that is literally the only thing that it sacrifices, the battery. I do want to also give points out here. In terms of RAM, the CMF phone only goes up to 8 gigs of RAM, unlike this one, which has 12. It has 256 gigabytes of storage max, and it does have expandable storage. So those are primarily the only differences here. Another thing that would be maybe worth mentioning is that CMF offers up to 3 years of major Android upgrades, and it starts from Android 15. So this one might only get 2, I don't know, it's not really mentioned, so something to keep in mind. But like I said, CMF Phone 2 Pro is a fantastic device if you're looking for something to take good photos at a cheaper price, and definitely perform better than this one, and well, perform as in for the price, as the processor is about the same. But you sacrifice the bigger battery and the more RAM with more storage, assuming you even would consider going for the higher end version with more RAM and storage. So anyway, that about sums up the device. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.